We are live. KK Sports Show Wits and Wagers Thursday, January 5th, 2023. First of the new year. Got a couple of us on video and a couple of us on audio. Uh, let's start with the guys on audio. Mr. Valenti, you're on audio. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can. How you doing tonight,
All
Kurt?
right. I am doing good. I'm on my way home from a board meeting, so I'm in a car, but I got to be with the Wits and Wages guys in Week 18 in College Football Championship, and hope everyone enjoyed their New Year's, and let's go.
Absolutely. Our special, not special guest, one of our guys on K&K Sports Show, the legend himself, Mr. Edward Siciliano, has joined us tonight on audio.
Hello, everyone.
Now the boys on video. We're going to start with the Eagle fan. We'll get him out of the way early tonight. Mr. Ryan Scoop Williams is with us. How you doing, Ryan?
How y'all doing? Yeah, I was torn between this hat and my Tide hat. And I'm judgment call since at least one of them's actually still playing. So, good to see everybody. Looking forward to making some bets tonight. And see what happens going into the final weekend of NFL regular season football, and of course the college football championship on Monday.
And last but not least, the one and only Mr. Carson Shear. How we doing, Carson?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy to be here, ready to rock and roll. Got a bunch of good NFL games this week. Last week in the NFL season. Playoff implications are still on the line for my Lions, and hopefully we can make it in. Let's do this.
Yeah, so tonight, guys, we only got one college football game. We're going to save that for last because that's Monday night. But we have NFL on the board. So we're going to start with Saturday. And I'll start the first game off with Carson. We got the Chiefs, Carson, heading to the Raiders, Las Vegas. We got the Chiefs at a 9.5-point favorite. First game on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to have no problem covering this. I know they're on the road, but the Raiders without Derek Carr, they're kind of a mess trying to figure out who their future quarterback's going to be. Last game of the year, I would say they keep it close, but I still think the Chiefs cover the 9.5.
On the phone, Mr. Valenti.
I'm going to go opposite of Carson. I think Kansas City's definitely going to win, but I think the Raiders and Josh McDaniels are going to be throwing everything out of the book. I will take the points. I think the Chiefs win, but I will take the points, and I think the Raiders play it close.
Mr. Ryan Scoops, how are we going in this one?
Yeah, just in a game where Derek Carr is not playing, I'm struggling to see it. I'm a bigger Derek Carr fan than I think some people are, and him not being the quarterback in this game, I as you guys know, I rarely take a big game like this, but I'm going to lay the points with the Chiefs here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it as well. Sis, we lost you for a second. I'm getting you back on. Bear with me. Are you there, Sis? Sis, you there? I don't hear Sis. Hold on. We got some. I'm gonna move on to the next game, guys. Titans, Jaguars. Kurt, you're up. Jaguars are a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, I absolutely love this game. I know if Matt Stafford's listening, the Malik Willis experiment is over. Josh Dobbs versus Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking the Jaguars, division champs.
Sis, do we have you? Who are you going in this game? I'm having technical difficulties with Sis. I don't know what's going on. Carson, Jaguars, Titans, 6-point favorite. Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm with Kurt. I think the Jaguars, they got more to play for. They're fired up. They got their future franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. I think they cover.
I'm with you guys again. I'm going to take the Jaguars, 6-point favorite. I think the Titans are going in the wrong direction. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I'm looking here. For some reason, the spreads that I'm looking at are different than the ones y'all are reading off. But even for this one here that says it's Pro Football Focus has a 6.5 for Jacksonville. I'm laying the points here. I think Vrabel's a good coach, but what a disaster finish for that team. It's been they've lost 6 in a row. Their last 4 wins were against the Colts, the Texans, the Broncos, and the Packers before this current run they've been on. So this has just, I think, been a very disappointing season for the Titans, and I don't think it's going to get any better this week.
Sis, I'm going to try again. Can you hear me? We're not getting any feedback on here for some reason, Sis, so apologize. I know you can hear us, but we can't hear you. Do you want to tell me, we're in the same room, who you like in this game, Sis? Titans or Jaguars?
I like Jaguars.
Sis is going Jaguars, guys. Sunday, Ryan, New York Jets out of the playoffs facing the Miami Dolphins. We got the Jets -1 in this game.
The Jets see again. This one they got the Dolphins -2. I'm very confused by why this is so different. But so in this particular, now you said that they have the Jets -1 that you're looking at, or
yeah, I'm on FanDuel. I have the Jets -1 as of this morning.
Okay, I'm gonna have to reconfigure this in my head real quick because I did this based off of Dolphins -2. But I think coming into this game, I think that the Dolphins have obviously been, struggling recently. They are not playing the same level that they were playing for a while, which obviously happens when your quarterback gets hurt. But both of these teams are coming in on, having hit the skids recently. I think that, pardon me, sorry. I don't know. I see something in the Jets that I think they're going to be able to come out, and I think that they're going to have a chance to win this game. I like the way that they're playing. As quarterback notwithstanding, I like the fact that their weapons have been playing, and I like their defense is incredible as we've seen. So I'm actually going to give this one to the Jets. I can't really say cover versus outright because again the spreads are so screwed up. But I'll say that if I had to pick a team, I would pick the Jets.
I'm going to go Dolphins here. I think the Jets really struggling last week, and I think the Dolphins have a lot more to play for. And I know they're their third string quarterback, but over/under's 38.5. It tells me it's going to be a defensive game. I'm going to take the Dolphins here at home over the Jets. Kurt.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take the Jets. I think Miami, obviously, Tua's not going to play. Bridgewater's hurt, so they're down to their third string quarterback. The Jets beat him already. I think the Jets defense will come to play. In the warm weather, I'll take the Jets in a ending disappointing season, but I think they knock Miami out.
Sis, who do you like in this game? Sis is going to go with the Dolphins and Carson.
Yeah, it's currently a three-way tie for the 7th seed. The Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. I think the Miami Dolphins at home, they realize it's a must-win game for them. Jets already eliminated. I know it's a third-string quarterback, but you still got weapons like Hill and Waddle and Wilson. Give me the Dolphins at home to cover.
Another game on Sunday. You just said the Steelers, Carson. I'm going to come right back to you. And the Browns head into Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, 2.5-point favorite. And more or less here, Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. And if they can pull off this win, he's still going to be in that streak, is still going to be alive, and he's going to be 9-8 this year, Carson. So which way are you headed in this one?
Yeah, I would go Browns in the points. This is going to be a really tough, nitty-gritty, close-scoring game. I think the Browns impressed me last week. I think their defense is starting to come alive. They are also eliminated from the playoffs. I think Deshaun, he kind of found his groove once again. I'm going Browns in the points. I'm going to take the 2.5.
Sis, who you like in this game? Sis is going to go Steelers as well. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. They're heading in the right direction late, and don't be surprised if they do get into the playoffs. They're fighting for that 7th seed, so I would not be surprised if the Dolphins lose like some of you guys picked, and later on we're going to pick the Bills-Patriots. So watch out for the Steelers. Kurt.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I think Cleveland has shown that they're still playing hard, but I think Pittsburgh, with everything on the line, they get the home win.
Ryan.
Yeah, no. This is not the most mathematic thing I've ever said. I know that Cleveland freaking hates the Steelers, and I know that they've played the Steelers tough during the Stefanski era. They've got Watson's been back a couple weeks now. They just took it to a very legitimate Washington defense on the road last week. I'm going to take the Browns to win this one.
To take out the mortgage game, boys. The Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a 2.5-point favorite, Kurt.
Wow. This is an Indy, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna take Indy on one purpose, and that is Jeff Saturday. I think he came in, he gave them a little spark, and I think the team's gonna, especially after last week's debacle, give a little thank you to Coach Saturday. So I'm gonna take the Colts at home.
Kurt, I'm going to go against you in this one. I'm going to take the Texans. I just think I watched the Giants blow out the Colts last week. Jeff Saturday. I'm going to take the Texans in this one and make things interesting, going forward. But I'll take the 2.5. Ryan.
Yeah, no, I'm easily taking the Colts in this one. The Jeff Saturday era has not gone the way that we may have hoped after that original win against the Raiders. However, they lost by 1 point to the Eagles. They lost by 3 points to Minnesota. A couple of their losses against good teams have been close. It's not like they're and so I agree that obviously they haven't completely turned it around, and they still have lost 6 in a row. But I think that there's something to read into those games. And the Texans. I can't see the Texans jetsing this thing up and playing their way out of the number 1 pick, which is pretty much what a win would do. I can't see that happening. I'm going to give the Colts this game. And also, I'll say this. I hope that the Texans do not look at this team in this season and decide to move on from Lovie Smith. I think Lovie Smith is a very good coach, and I think that he deserves another year considering the show that he was put into with this team at the last minute.
Sis, Colts Texans. We got the Colts 2.5-point favorite. Colts for Sis. Next game here on the board. This could have been a good one a couple weeks ago, but the Bucs clinched everything. Carson, I got the Falcons a 4.5-point favorite at home against Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons here at home. I think they've done pretty well covering the spread this year. Bucs are already in the playoffs. I think the Falcons are on the rise, though. They have shown signs of improvement. So I'm going to go Falcons, and then I'm going to go with the Texans in the other game as well with the points.
It's such an important game. I forgot you.
That's
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Kurt, on the phone.
I'm going to go Falcons. Tampa Bay obviously is the better team, but they're going to sit their guys. I don't even know if Brady's going to take a snap. They're locked into that 4 seed. Atlanta always plays hard. It's a bigger game for them. They'll play their guys. I'm going to take Atlanta.
I'm with you, Kurt. I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. I think the Bucs will sit Brady, obviously, and some of the big boys. So give me the Falcons at home, laying the 4.5. Ryan.
I'm going to go with Atlanta. Like you said, it's at home. They got a balanced offense that I think is going to, especially if Brady isn't really a factor in this game, they're going to be able to control the game, I think, as long as they get out to a half-decent start. My guy Desmond Ridder on this team, as long as he is on his game, I think that he'll be able to play well against the Buccaneer defense, I believe.
And Sis. Sis is going Falcons, and I think we got the man himself, Joey Clams, joining us. How we doing, Joe?
Dean, Greg, you going?
We're doing good, Joe. You're a little choppy, but we'll get that fixed.
What's up, Joey?
How about Dave? I had the wrong on it.
Joe, we're having some difficulties with you. I'm going to mute you for a couple seconds, all right? Kurt, I don't know what's going on tonight. We're having a lot of problems. We got to fix
I don't know.
Problems.
I don't know.
We got to figure this out. Sorry, guys. Panthers Saints. Ryan, Saints minus 3.5.
Man, the amount of games that going into the season we thought were probably gonna be pretty decent games, and it's just like, really, we have to watch that game. This is I think going to be a difficult one. However, I will say the Panthers have been impressing me recently under Steve Wilkes. They had a solid win over. Sorry, Carson, but they had a solid win over Detroit, who had looked a lot better at that point. They've had a couple of interesting wins. They beat the Seahawks a couple weeks ago in Seattle, which is not an easy place to play. I'm going to give this to the Panthers.
Joe, are you close to your computer? Phone? Yeah, we're having that could be the problem, Joe. I don't know. We're gonna have to put you on mute. I apologize. Carson, we're gonna go with the Panthers and Saints here. We got the Saints 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going Panthers. They've surprised me. Unfortunately, they got knocked out when losing to Brady last week, but they've been a team that's been kind of fighting all year long. It's crazy because they lost Christian McCaffrey, and everybody thought that team would plummet and suffer, but they've still fought a way to put together a decent season. So I'm going Panthers. I think they finish it out and get a win.
Kurt, which way you heading here?
You know what? I think this is actually going to be one of the more competitive games with both teams playing their guys. Like Ryan was saying about the Panthers. Same thing with the Saints. The Saints had nothing really to play for last week. They go down to Philly, beat Philly, and I'm going to take the Saints again. Again, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game by both teams, but I will take the Saints at home.
3.5. That's a scary number, but I'm going to take the Saints at home too. The Panthers had everything going for them, chance to take the division last week, and they blew it. I think that is going to linger, so I'm going to take the Saints as well. Our good friend Jody Moncrief over at the Bronco Roundup saying hello. Good evening, Jody. How we doing over there out in Colorado? Did everybody go on that game? Sorry, guys. Let's try Joey again.
I think Joey Clam is trying to say something.
How we doing, Joe? You okay?
Yeah, we lowered the volume.
There we go. You got you now, Joe. How we doing tonight?
Good. See, veal cutlet Parmesan, frig you.
There we go.
Got that that was the wrong line they had. 4.5, 5. We got them 6-0 this week.
There we go, Joe. All right, guys, let's get into the Patriots and Bills. I'm going to start with Carson. The Bills, 7-point favorite, Carson.
Wow. Patriots are fighting for a playoff spot. I think the Bills are still going to be kind of a little shooken up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to go Patriots to cover here. They're playing for a spot in the wild card, and I think the Bills aren't fully mentally there yet.
Yeah, of course I'll be rooting for the Bills, but I got to agree with you, Carson. I got to take the Patriots here. Sis, I forgot to get your pick on Panthers Saints. Panthers for Sis. Let's go to Joey Clams.
Give me the Saints and give me the Pats.
Pats and Saints for Joey Clams. Kurt.
You know what? I saw a picture today on Twitter. It was Josh Allen and one of the defenders giving a thumbs up with smiles. Forget about it. They're going to play for this kid on Sunday. They're going to blow New England out. And I'm going to make a prediction. This is the last game Mac Jones starts as a New England Patriot. He's done. Take Buffalo.
Kurt going bold. I like it. And Ryan.
I agree with, sorry about that. I agree with Kurt on this one. I got to give it to Buffalo. I agree it's going to be on their mind, but I think it's going to be, if anything, they're going to be out of a mindset of let's go and beat our biggest rival for our guy over there. And I think that Buffalo is going to be playing with some heat on them going into the playoffs.
Next game, boys. We'll start with Kurt. I'll let you start with this one. We had a little argument yesterday. Friendly argument. I say argument. Friendly debate. And I asked the question if the Vikings were most overrated team in the playoffs. Well, they're 7.5-point favorite over there. Kurt, which way are you headed in this one?
I'm sorry, Vikings who, Kenny?
Vikings Bears.
No Justin Fields, right? So that's probably a good thing for the Viking. Good thing for the Bears that Fields ain't playing. At least they'll throw the ball this week. So you know what? I'm still going to take the Vikings. I mean, because they are still playing for seedings, right? I mean, they still can possibly get up to the 2 seed. I'll take the Vikings. I think the Vikings do play. They have something to play for, and I just think the Bears are bad. So, and again, why would the Bears want to win? Right? What's in for the Bears? You get a better draft pick, lose the game. I'm going to take the Vikings.
Joey Clamps.
Yeah, I'm going to Purple People Eaters. You're not playing. I think who's quarterbacking for the Bears? Is it
Peterman.
Peterman.
Yeah. So give me the Vikings. But I buy it down to 7 or 6.5. I ain't laying the hook. Never.
I'm going to take the Bears just to be different, and going into the playoffs, the most overrated team is the Vikings. Carson.
Yeah, I'm going Bears to cover here. I think Minnesota wins, but Bears. The last game of the year, they're at home. Vikings might start to overlook the game a little bit. I'm going to go Bears in the cover.
Sis, Patriots, Bills. Forgot to get your pick. And Vikings, Bears, 7.5 Vikings. The Bears for Sis. The Bears. Ryan, Vikings, Bears.
Especially with Nate Peterman quarterbacking. I mean, I saw him in Buffalo. I saw him in that brief time he was with the Raiders. Seems like a good kid, but I can't pick him going up against that talented team of Minnesota. Obviously, I don't think the Vikings are the most overrated team going into the playoffs. If you want my answer on that, go back and watch yesterday because I ain't saying it again.
There we go. Start this one with Carson. Struggling Ravens without Lamar Jackson head into Cincinnati. Cincinnati was the other team involved in the Monday night game, obviously. Bengals are a 7-point favorite.
I'm going to go Ravens in the points here. Again, I think the Bengals, still kind of being a little shooken up by what happened on Monday night. I think the Ravens, they're also playing for their seeding in the playoffs. I know they don't have Lamar, but they're still somehow performing pretty well. I think their defense is pretty good. I'm going to go Baltimore in the points.
Joey Clamps.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore. They're going to try to run the ball and think they could cover on that. So give me the Ravens touchdown.
Kurt.
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go Cincinnati. They want to win the division. Seeding still in play. And I can't see Baltimore, holding this team in a low-scoring game. So how's Baltimore going to score with Cincinnati? I'm going to take Burrow and Cincinnati at home.
I'm with you guys with Cincinnati. Ravens are in trouble. And you know me, I was high on them a few weeks ago, but I read something today that I don't know how much truth there is to this. Jim Harbaugh is questioning Lamar's heart. He doesn't have, what does he have? He's not, he's got to prove himself to the team. So it's not so pretty over there down here in Baltimore. So we're about to see if that fires him up. What was that?
Parcells used to do the same thing, trying to get, you're trying to
motivate him.
Yeah, but you're right on it because if Baltimore doesn't, they're going to be a bet against in the playoffs.
Yep. So like I said, I'm going to take Cincinnati here. I think it's a big, and this team that could go to the Super Bowl, all joking aside. So give me Cincinnati big in this one by about 10. Ryan.
Yeah, This game I think could potentially get out of hand. I mean, if looking earlier in the season, these two teams played each other. Baltimore at home only won by 2, and that was with Lamar Jackson. I don't think that this is going to be a relatively close game at all. I'm going to lay the points with Cincinnati here.
Sis, Bengals 7-point favorite over Ravens. Sis is taking the Ravens. Did everybody go on
No.
that one? What was that?
I'm saying he's not a lollipop. All the lollipop suckers.
All right, next game on the board, Kurt. My New York Giants, Sis's New York Giants, go traveling to Ryan's Philadelphia Eagles. But there's only one problem. The Giants are in the playoffs and not playing for anything, but the Eagles are playing for everything. So the line, Kurt, the Eagles are minus 14 in this one.
Yeah, listen, it's 14 for a reason. People know they're not going to play. Maybe Daniel Jones takes 2 snaps and they get him out, and they shouldn't. Everybody looked at oh my God, I can't think of his name. Jack Del Rio a couple years ago when the Raiders were about to be a 1 seed, and he played in meaningless games at the end. He played Derek Carr. Derek Carr got hurt. Raiders never won another game. It's the same thing. There's nothing to play for the Giants. Worst case scenario is they do try to win this game. The Eagles blow them out. They take the guys out 28-0, and then they get beat again by Minnesota. Don't even play them. Go into the playoffs off your best game with the momentum. Let the Eagles get the 1 seed. I think the Eagles are just going to bury this team this week. They're second stringers. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Guys, our great friend Keith Brugman, Denver Bronco Roundup, the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, saying good evening to this fantastic panel for the show. Thanks, Keith, for that compliment. Please go check out Keith, Jody, and our good friend Dutchie on Denver Bronco Roundup every Tuesday night. I know the Broncos haven't had a good year, but it's a very entertaining show, and please go check them out. I believe Eastern Time, Keith, is 8:30. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Bronco
Thanks for
Roundup
joining,
is
Keith.
peak.
Always a pleasure to have you. All right, I'm going to save Ryan for last, so we'll move to Joey Clamps.
Yeah, listen, everybody. These lines, it's not a preseason game. It ain't guys that are out there that are going to wash next week. The Giants are still going to have NFL players on the field. They're not going to be one, your starters, but still, 14 points. The Giants, I'm playing them plus 14 and a half. You know what? They're still, you play for pride. Jobs, too. Guys are free agents playing for jobs. You got to remember that. Play the big wood. Remember, there's coaches coaching for jobs. There's players. There's guys looking to gain. They might not be the first team.
Absolutely, Joe. Carson.
Yeah, I'm with Joey here. I think 14 is just way too many points. I know they're on the road at Philly, but Giants, I think they secured their spot last week with the win against Indy. And again, it's no hurts, no problem. Give me the Giants to cover. I think Eagles win though, but Giants 14. Give me that.
Yeah, you nailed it, Carson. I'm going to echo that. I'm going to say the Eagles win, but the Giants cover, and I'm going to go really bold. I would love to see a prop, Joe. Kenny Golladay gets a touchdown. He's got. You play the guy the whole game. You don't need. Let him play the whole game. He's a backup now. Let him play the whole game.
You see the stat on Kenny Golladay. He only needs 78 more catches on Sunday to get that $750,000 signing bonus. Only
Yeah,
78
I
more
did see that. Yeah, I would love to see if there's a prop for Kenny Golladay to get a touchdown. Because if he's going to get it, it'll be in this game. So I'll take the Giants, but not winning, but covering the spread. Sis, who do you like in the Giants, Eagles? Sis is going to go with the Eagles because no one's playing. I do agree with that to a point. 14 is just so many points, though. And Ryan, you're up. Your Eagles, 14-point favorite.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. 14 is too many points. I can see Philly, especially if they play more guys. Well, obviously they would, but especially if the Giants, don't play all their guys the whole time. I could see this being, a bit more in Philly's favor, but 14 points, especially after some of what I saw the last couple of weeks, where it wasn't just, the lack of having Jalen Hurts there. It was also some of the defensive, just completely unnecessary mistakes that I wasn't seeing earlier in the season. So I'm gonna say the Giants cover here. I do still think Philly wins outright.
A game where everything's on the line. Kurt, I'm going to let you go first on this one. The LA Rams traveling to Seattle and Geno Smith. Geno Smith and the Seahawks are a 6.5-point favorite, Kurt, out in Seattle.
Wow. I'm going to take Seattle. Again, I think Baker Mayfield's done a nice little job, and I'm not taking Seattle based on Geno Smith. I'm not. But the Rams just aren't playing anybody. You still got Metcalf, Lockett, Carson's boy, Walker there. And, when you have one team not playing for anything and another team playing for everything, I'm going to take Seattle. I wouldn't be shocked that Geno Smith blows this game. But, again, just like I was saying last night, I'm running the ball 40 times with Walker and not letting Geno do anything to mess this up. So I'll take Seattle.
And I'm going to call Kurt a fraud on the air right now.
Why?
You're taking Geno Smith to get to the playoffs when 2 weeks ago you said Geno Smith ain't going to be in the playoffs and yada, 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 all this bad stuff about Geno Smith. I'm taking the Rams. I think Geno Smith is going to choke in this game. Plus, I want to see Carson Lions at 8 o'clock take care of Green Bay and get in the playoffs. So it's more of a sentimental. Like, I'm rooting for Carson's Lions, which is probably the biggest reason I'm taking Seattle. But Kurt, you should be taking the Rams in this game. I'm sorry. So
I'm not. I mean, for the show, I'm going to root and laugh when they get beat. But I mean, on the show, I'm going to take the Rams. I mean, I have no confidence in the Rams at all.
6.5 is way too many. I'm going to push for Carson's Lions to get in there, and this is going to be the upset of the week. Joey Clams.
Nice.
Yeah, like what Kurt said, he's Baker Mayfield. Listen, this guy's playing for a job. He's gonna. That doesn't mean he's gonna be able to have a good game. This guy maybe with incentives. I know out there that he gets a sack, he gets $750,000. And this guy playing for jobs, they got to show some pride, And there's coaches out there too, assistants, and coaching jobs, and get promoted. So I'm gonna like on this Sunday. I'm gonna mostly take dogs. Give me the dog there. Give me the
Nice.
Underdog Sunday, Carson.
Yeah, these teams played earlier in December, at Rams, and the Seahawks ended up covering that game 27-23. Now they're in Seattle, which is a way tougher environment. 6.5, it's going to be interesting. If there was a coach that I would want to be in this position to play and try to win their game for the last game of the year, I would want it to be McVay. He'd be on the top of my list. So I think the Rams do cover here. I don't know if they're going to win the game. It's going to go neck and neck all the way down to the wire. I think, like Joey said, Baker is playing for a job, whether it may be the backup on the Rams next year or someplace else. I think they do cover. Give me the Rams plus the points.
And Ryan.
Let's see. Which one of these teams is starting a quarterback that beat the number one defense in the NFL by 37 on the road? Or 37 on Christmas, rather. I'm taking Baker Mayfield. I'm taking my guy all day long. I think that they're going to win outright. I don't see Seattle, even if Aaron Donald doesn't play, I don't see Seattle coming in there with enough to beat what I believe LA can throw at them.
Sis, who do you like in this one? Sis is going Seattle. Carson, next game on the board. LA Chargers. I know you and I were very high on them in the beginning of the year. They're getting hot now, and they're heading into the playoffs against Kurt's Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are a minus 2.5-point favorite in this game. I say Kurt's Broncos, also Keith and Jody's Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I think the Broncos, they got rid of Hackett. You guys are building the right way, Kurt. I think next year is the year that you could see the true Russell Wilson come out, because I do think a lot of that was on Hackett of why the Broncos only got 4 wins this year. But I think the Chargers, like Kenny said, I think they're catching fire at the right time. That offense is crazy legit. Defense ain't bad either. I'm going to go Chargers.
Carson, usually I agree with you. I'm gonna take Kurt. Hold your ears, Keith and Jody. You can listen to what I gotta say, but Kurt, you gotta hold your ears. I'm taking the
Okay.
Broncos here. Chargers should be resting some guys, and they're in the playoffs. I think they should rest getting in there, and Denver's a tough place to play. For some backups, I think Denver's going to put it all on the line and squeak out a victory to end the season. So I'll take Denver laying the 2.5. Ryan.
I think that the situation right now with the coaching situation with both of these teams, you have on one side you've got someone who's believed to have his job in question, and another team that's already watched their guy go. And I don't think that there's I don't know why I can't get the game to load up on here. Here we go. Having Justin Herbert go up against Russell Wilson, even if Russell Wilson is fully healthy and whatnot, he's just not been what you expect, as we've talked about ad nauseum. So I'm going to say that the Chargers, with Staley coaching for his job, with in all likelihood, with Justin Herbert, being fully healthy and them having some recent success against some good teams, including the Dolphins and such, I'm going to have to take this one as the Chargers over Denver.
Joey Clams.
You got this the favorite. You got Chargers.
I got the Broncos as the
right?
favorite. I got the Broncos as the favorite in this one.
Yeah.
So do
I. You know what? San Diego.
I'll look right now to make sure I didn't get that wrong.
Yeah, you're good. It's 2.5 Denver right now.
Yeah, that flip flop. I think I think this guy did a good job this year. I thought he'd be on the hot seat too, but he was banged up. The defense never had anybody out there all year. Offense's big playmakers were hurt at the time. Let me tell you something. Under the red, but they need rest, and Broncos looking, and this season, guy, give me Denver at home. Plus,
Sis, who do you like, Denver or LA Chargers? Going Broncos too. Kurt, close them ears. Your ears must be bleeding. Kurt, let's get your pick in this game.
Am I up? You hear me?
We got you.
Yeah, listen. Couple things. I think Denver showed a lot last week, and Denver showed right out of the gate this was on Nathaniel Hackett. 100%. You showed that. I mean, they're in there with Kansas City. Russ was Russ, and they were just doing stuff that a normal football team does. That's number one. Number two, San Diego. I don't know how committed they're going to be to play this game. Right? It depends what happens at 1:00 with seeding. Are they really going to play Herbert the whole game? And number three, listen, we should have beat them the first time in San Diego. I'm not a big fan of San Diego. I think Denver wins at home. I think Denver's got new life since Hackett was gone. I think Denver gets the win. And just to get Joey Clams about Brandon Staley, I don't care what, unless they win a Super Bowl. If Sean Payton wants that job, Brandon Staley, bye-bye. Because this ain't about what you've done. It's about who's going to win a Super Bowl. So I'll take Denver at home.
You guys did a good job this year with everybody backed up. That's
Yeah. All right, guys, we got 3 more games than the college game in roughly 15 minutes. We'll try and get these games done. We should be able to. I'll start this one with Ryan. Arizona Cardinals looking ahead to the draft. Traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. I know you got a cousin on that team, Ryan. 49ers are a 14-point favorite. Where are we heading in this one?
I don't see any possible way that I can take the Cardinals here. The mismatch is obscene. This is a team that's barely even lost close to anybody recently. the last time they played the 49ers, it was a 28-point loss, and the Cardinals were playing at home. I'm laying the points with the 49ers all day. This is going to be a monstrosity.
Joey Clams.
Played the last game was in Mexico City. And, you know what? 49, their problem every year is that all their superstars are getting hurt. He's got a machine right there, and he don't want it to break down. He's going to rest players. They don't care where they go. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. They're fierce, but they're not going to cover this week. Take Arizona plus the points. San Francisco, you got the third-string quarterback. You got nobody left. You can't get this guy hurt. They got to give me the dog.
You know what, Joe? This is one of them games you want to watch and see what the Giants-Eagles are doing, because the Cardinals-49ers are 4 o'clock. If, and it's a big if, the Giants somehow pull off the win against the Eagles, then I think the 49ers have to play everybody because they can get the 1 seed. But it's a big if. But what the 49ers are going to be doing is they're going to be watching that Giants-Eagles game. And I think, all joking aside, the Eagles are going to win. So the 49ers are going to sit players like you just said, Joe. So I'm taking the Cardinals and J.J. Watt's last game. And I'm going to take that 14 right now because I think it's going to be, them as the 2 seed. So give me them. But there's a big if the Giants beat the Eagles, I'm all in on the 49ers. So my bet would change there. Carson.
Great point.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I like the Cardinals here with the 14. They're a mess. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is potentially playing for a coaching job with the Cardinals. I know he's had a lot of injuries this year, but I think they got to at least show me a fight against the 49ers, especially second half. 49ers might start to sit some guys. They're already locked in as the playoffs, either the 2 or the 3 seed. So give me the Cardinals and the points.
Caution, they already
put on a 49er hat.
Oh, they already dug the hole for the guy. He's got a target on. He's gone. Monday you won't see him.
There you go.
Says 49ers 14-point favorite. Cardinals. Give me the 14 points. He's taking the 14. And Kurt.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. First off, the Vikings doesn't it matter though for the 2 seed and the 3 seed also?
In the NFC, yeah. For the
I guess you're right. You're right. I didn't think about that. I thought they had those 2 seed
and that's important, right? You want that second round game home. So Joey Clams mentioned about Mexico City. I hope Joey Clams and the Cardinals are going to get about 6 or 7 guys from Mexico City because David Blau is going to play against the 49er defense in a game they must win to at least get home field for the second round. This game is, this could be like 49-6 or something like they're going to destroy them.
Vikings.
I didn't hear him, but destroy them.
Say it again, Joe.
No game is at 1, so it's the same as the thing with the Giants. You sit and wait. You don't tighten the weeds, and you wait, and then when you see it, because watch that line. Once Philly wins, and once Minnesota wins. San Francisco, I'm telling you, it's going to be.
But if Minnesota wins, right? But if Minnesota wins, Frisco has to win. It's if the Giants win and then the line. If the Giants win and the Vikings lose, then they'll sit everybody.
Could I play devil's advocate, Kurt?
Yeah,
I agree with both of you guys, but I'm leaning towards Joe because I'm just going to name a couple guys. George Kittle, injury history. Christian McCaffrey, injury history. Do you want these guys to get a fluke injury in Week 18 because you're worried about the 2-3 seed?
Yeah, hell yeah. Listen to me.
These guys
I want to be home.
I don't know.
I want to be home.
Yeah, you do want to be home, but they will be home because the Vikings aren't going anywhere.
No way. There's no way they're going to sit guys with the 2 and 3 seed on the line. It's just no one's going to do that.
With the rookie quarterback, you want to keep everybody. You might see something stupid like that.
No way.
I don't know.
Well,
We'll
listen
see.
to me. You take David Blau and 14.5 points, and when that scores 28-0, you'll be looking to see who's the 8 o'clock game. Start betting the Lions because you'll be down whatever you bet on the Cardinals.
If the 49ers defense start the 49ers, the 49ers starters on defense, start them all, but McCaffrey and Kittle should be sitting, and Deebo Samuel. You don't want any of those offensive weapons hurt. You got enough offensive powers that you should beat the Cardinals with your backups.
I don't want Nicky Bosa getting hurt either.
Good point, Joe. All right, guys, let's move on. We got 2 more games in the big game on Monday.
I'm telling you, everybody makes a point.
But let's move on to, we got 2 more games. First one, NFC matchup. Kurt, I'll let you go first. The Dallas Cowboys laying 7 to Commanders.
You know what? I'm going to take, again.
Sam Howell's quarterbacking for the Commanders.
Oh, that was another one of Staffiero's guys, Sam Howell. But I'm going to take the points because, again, watching that game, once they see, I think Dallas obviously has to play because there's still hope. But once they look and say, okay, Philly's up 2 scores, Philly's up 17, get everybody out for the playoff game. And what's Washington? I mean, Washington's, what are they playing for? So go for it on 4th down with Riverboat we're on. I'll take the points. I don't like that he's the quarterback, but I'll still take the points at home.
I'm with you, Kurt. I'm going to take the points at home. I think a low-scoring game. I think once the Giants, once the Eagles win, it's a 1 o'clock game for the Giants, Eagles, another 4 o'clock game, Cowboys, Commanders. They're going to be watching that board. Dak Prescott ain't going to play. Zeke's going to play. CeeDee Lamb. Be stupid to play those guys with no seeding. If the Eagles were to beat the Giants, it doesn't matter for the Cowboys. Get rested up for the Buccaneers. So I'll take the Commanders getting 7. Ryan.
I just had to tweak something real quick because I get Matt Corral and Sam Howell confused, and I put something in here that was actually about Matt Corral. So my apologies on that. That being said, I have in this game. I don't see how I can pick against Dallas right now. Even if Dallas, is sitting, a couple of players. I just, and the Commanders obviously had, a solid defense as I mentioned earlier. But the last couple of weeks, they just have not been playing at the level that they were earlier in the season. They tied the Giants, then lost to them, then, obviously lost to the 49ers because everyone loses to the 49ers pretty much, and, lost by 2 scores to the Browns. I don't think that Sam Howell going up there is going to, make a world of difference. I think that I agree with starting him over Carson Wentz, so at least you can see what you're getting out of your quarterback, unlike what Tennessee is doing, which I never thought that I would agree with a thing over that Washington's doing with the QB over Tennessee. But I'm going to stick with the Cowboys here.
Carson.
Yeah, I'm going Commanders. I think Sam Howell, he's getting his first career start. I think he shows up. Commanders, they're eliminated from the playoffs. And I'm going to go with the points in the Commanders. And Carson Wentz is the biggest fraud in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amen,
I agree with that.
Amen, brother.
Sis, Cowboys, Commanders. Sis is also taking the Commanders. Your thoughts on this game?
Listen, the Cowboys are banged up a little bit on their offensive line. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Going to be looking to that clock and give me tight division game. Give me the points. Give me the Commanders.
Jody's saying Broncos don't lose to San Fran. Laughing. Sunday night, our good friend Jody at Denver Broncos Roundup. Broncos don't lose to San Fran.
I think that's probably a reference. She's probably saying that because I said everyone loses to the 49ers.
Yeah. The big one, Sunday night. Let's hope it's a big one for Carson's Lions, and he can get into 8 o'clock with a chance to get into the playoffs. So we're going to let him go last on this one. Kurt, the Packers and the red hot Green Bay Packers are laying 4.5 at home in this one. Kurt, Sunday night.
Listen, Carson, I love you, man. You're my boy. I love you. But this is just, what do they say? wrong place, wrong time, at Lambeau, Sunday night, national television with the playoffs on the line, 30 degrees. Just, it's not going to happen, man. It's just, there's no way Aaron Rodgers is losing that game. I don't care about 4 points, 6 points. It doesn't matter. Joey Clams and Kenny, once you're down about 300 from in Arizona, money line Green Bay, money line Georgia, take that parlay to the bank. Green Bay will not lose this game. I'll take minus the points for now. And Carson, your Lions should have to keep their heads up, man. What a season. Dan Campbell, unbelievable job. But it's like mission impossible to go there on a Sunday night and not let Aaron Rodgers get to the playoffs. It's an unbelievable season. Lion fans should be ecstatic. They have their coach did an unbelievable job. I just think it's wrong place, wrong time. Packers are going to win.
Ryan.
Well, I keep doing this to myself because I have been getting screwed left and right the last couple of weeks. I'm all in on it. I'm saying Dan Campbell and the Lions cover, win this game. Your Carson, your Lions drought comes to an end this week.
Nice.
Joey Clams.
Yeah, listen. Green Bay's deep can move the ball on them. The Lions are going to move the ball on the Pack. And decide this game is going to be the Lions' defense. If they could stop Rodgers in a big spot, I think this game is going to be close. I'm taking the big Tigers, baby.
Nice.
I'm taking and I'm going to sprinkle a little coffee money on the money line.
Nice.
Rams are going to beat Seattle. Lions are going to go in there. There's going to in the late four.
I'll go next. I'm predicting the Seahawks to get beat to the Rams, so that we're going to go into Sunday night, and I'm going to root for Carson's Lions hard. So you know what? I'm going to take the Lions because I'm going to be rooting for them. And 4.5. Go ahead, Joe.
I just want to say, Lambeau Field ain't like what it used to be. Out in the playoffs and at home all the time.
We're gonna get those. We're gonna get Carson's Lions in the playoffs, and you know what? Jamal Williams is gonna be the difference in it, getting them to the playoffs. He's gonna get the last laugh in Lambeau. Let's go, Jamal Williams, and let's get the Lions in the playoffs for Carson. Lions or Packers?
Carson's Lions deliver a can of whoop ass on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Let's
all right,
go,
Carson. Carson said, "Attaboy, sis. You're up, Carson."
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. You know, it opened up at 6.5 for the Packers. A couple days ago, it was 5.5 Packers. Now it's 4.5 Packers. This line keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. And it's all going to depend on this Seattle Los Angeles Rams game, because let me tell you what, if the Rams win that game, that line is going to go further down and further down, before kickoff. Lions, like Kurt just said, we had an unbelievable end to the year. Regardless, we either finished the last 10 games either 7-3 or 8-2. We're building a culture. Kenny, you just said Jamal Williams. He's actually one rushing touchdown away from tying Barry Sanders' record for most rushing touchdowns in a single season. They're playing with house money. They got nothing to lose. They're obviously going to be paying attention to the Seattle game, but let's go into Green Bay. Let's rain on Aaron Rodgers' parade, because they still have to win the game for them to get in the playoffs. I'm not comfortable going money line lines, but I'm going to take the points in the Lions, though. I think they play. This is Dan Campbell's biggest game of his career. It sets the tone not just for the potential playoffs, but for next season to come. Give me the Lions and the points. Let's go.
Awesome. All right, boys. So that's the end of the NFL. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's get our best bets and underdog in now, and then we'll pick the college game to end the show. We got about 5 minutes left, Kurt. So give me an underdog and best bet, Kurt.
I'm laughing here, but best bet is going to be the 49ers against Joey Clams and the 7 guys he takes from Mexico City. I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm going to go with Green Bay also. So Green Bay 49ers are my team. My upset is going to be, I'm going to take the Commanders because I think Dallas is going to sit guys in the second half, and I think the Commanders are going to outright beat Dallas.
Dang it, Kurt, you stole mine, so I don't want to be the same as you with the Commanders. So I'm going to go to Ryan and get his while I look for one here.
All right, so my best bet, first off, I mentioned this earlier, and it really kills me to say this, but as much as I love the Eagles and I have for like 12 years, there's no way that I can justify a 2-touchdown spread. I'm going to pick the Giants against my Eagles as the best bet this week. And I'm going to say as a rivalry, or not rivalry, what am I saying? As a upset, rather. Give me the Lions over the Green Bay Packers.
Nice.
All right, I'll go next, and then I'm going to give you my upset is going to be the Rams. We're going to get into Sunday night, trying to get Carson's Lions in there.
Nice.
I like the Commanders like Kurt, but I didn't want to pick the same one. My best bet I think is going to be the Steelers, guys. I think the Steelers are playing for a lot here in the AFC, and they got an early game on Sunday, so I could see them easily winning by a field goal or more, and the line's only 2.5 right now. So those are going to be mine. Sis, you got a best bet?
Yep. Let me do one. Give me the Seahawks over the Rams.
Seahawks over the Rams for Sis. And Carson, give us yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants to cover the 14 against the Eagles. And then I think best kind of upset I could see happen would be, believe it or not, Chargers over the Broncos. It's a weird line, but I would go Chargers.
That's a good one. Joey Clams, give us your best bets and underdogs before we get the college football pick.
That is the under. I'm taking the Lions with the points. They're going to be all on Green Bay. Time when an offense like that, you could see Miami if Tua didn't turn the ball, Green Bay wasn't winning that game. Absolutely not. And like I said, Kurt, before even I said I never. All I said was before you play this game, you wait. That's what I said, and you wait. And if you see the way it's going, you got to move. Moves.
Let's move on to the college game, boys. The big one. Yeah, Joe, just so you know, when you're on try and stay close to your phone when you talk. When you back away, we lose you for a little bit. So I want to make sure we get your college pick in to end the show here. But I'm going to start off with Ryan. We got Georgia laying 12.5, Ryan. TCU, the Cinderella story. Do they pull it off?
As soon as Georgia started playing a couple of the better teams in college football, not taking anything away from how great they are, they absolutely deserve to be the number 1 seed. They were played tougher by the better teams that they faced toward the end of the season. They were they almost just lost to Ohio State. They covered against LSU, but even though 2 games before that, Kentucky and G-Tech, they didn't cover against either of those. I'm going to take TCU against the spread, and I'm not 100% sure I won't take them as an upset.
I'm going to go I'll go next. I'm the Cinderella. I love the Cinderella stories. And Joey, right? 200-1 just to make the playoffs. Can you imagine what they were to win it? I think it was 2,000-1 to win the whole thing at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
So you know what? I'm going to root for those people who took the 2,000-1 odds, and I'm going to hope they pull off the victory. But I think 12.5. I think they'll cover it. I think they'll get some points. Max Duggan, he's real deal. They got that stud wide receiver Johnson. I'll take the 12.5 and hope they could pull off the major upset. Carson.
Yeah, I'm going to go TCU in the points here. I think, again, it was 13.5. Now it's 12.5. I think, Georgia, I was surprised by how well Ohio State played. I thought that was going to be a blowout. And I think TCU has a very similar play style to what Ohio State has. And I think they keep this game close. I have money on Georgia to win outright. I took that before the playoffs started, but I'm going to go TCU in the points here. I think they keep this game close, but Georgia wins.
And you know what, Carson? A little advice that probably Joey would pass out too. You got Georgia to win. Well, just cover yourself with TCU with a couple dollars. So
Right.
you
Mm-hmm.
you get you break out even worse.
Yeah.
If TCU was to pull off the cover there for you. Joey Clamps.
Yeah, if you like TCU, you're 13.5. You could have put it to 14. Now it's locked at 12. That's on the island has 11.5. You know what? You'll see some late Georgia money coming in this game is TCU in the first half plus the 7. And that Georgia's going to see it might be close, feeling each other out. Good quarterback. They can move he's going to make some plays with his legs. But 13.5, 14. But for the shot, I'll take the dog. I think they're live.
Sis, Georgia TCU, we got it at 12.5.
After watching the Ohio State game, this is the biggest trap game of the year. TCU is going to take Kirby Smart and the rest of the Georgia Bulldogs, bend them over their knees, and give them a good old-fashioned spank.
Kurt, you're going to get the final say on this, and then after that, give us your final thoughts for the evening.
All right, real quick. This is how this is gonna go down this weekend with Kenny and Joey Clams. They're gonna talk to each other over the weekend. Joey, you got your 7 guys from the Mexico City. I got them. We're gonna cover it. So they get beat 49-6. Joey Clams is gonna call Kenny. Listen, let's get our boy Carson. Let's take the points. Take the points with Detroit. Whew. They're going to be down 2-0. Big money. They're going to Kenny's going to ask Sis, you got a couple hundred for me for Monday night? Let's go get TCU. Let's go get TCU. They're getting 12.5. They're getting 12.5. Listen, don't be fooled. Tip your hat to TCU. Great season this year. Great season. But let's be realistic. They got totally outplayed by Michigan. They didn't stop Michigan once, and Michigan's not Georgia. I could tell you this. And the worst thing is how Georgia played versus Ohio State, because Kirby Smart said right after that interview, not good, and he's going to fix it. And I could tell you this, he's going to fix it. Great run. I don't really care about the spread because, like Carson, I got Georgia in a future bet, but later points. This is the SEC. This is Georgia now. It's a great run, TCU. Duggan will make some plays, but they're going to turn around. Listen, I want Harbaugh as my Bronco coach, Kenny. I do. But like you said, where was turn around and pound them? Georgia's going to turn around and pound them, and we'll see if they can hold up. So I'm going to lay the points. Georgia's definitely going to win. So 49ers, money line, Packer money line, Georgia money line, Joey Clams. Go buy yourself a new car. Boom. Final word. Great season. I can't wait for the playoffs. Listen, I'm as disappointed as anybody in the NFL because we should be there. We got the talent to be there. We hired a major issue with the head coach. Thank you, Mr. Penner. We fixed it. We're going to get ourselves a legit head coach, and I can't get ready for next season. But great week 18, national championship game, and Kenny and Joey Clams. Listen. Green Bay, San Fran. I'll even throw Philly money line with Georgia. Go get yourself some computers and cars. That's
Kurt,
my
I'm going to let you
final
answer a question from Jody, and then I got a comment from Big Dog.
Sure.
Only you, Kurt. Rapid fire. Is Stetson Bennett a top college quarterback of all time if he goes back to back?
He's not. I don't say he's a top quarterback of all time, but I would take him any damn week as my quarterback in the future. Back him up with Russ. And I'll take him as my future quarterback in 6 years.
Our good friend Big Dog. Michigan beat themselves, but I can tell you SEC refs can suck it. Harbaugh is staying in Michigan, and go Lions.
There we go.
What's up, Big Dog? Thanks for joining. Ryan, let's get your final thoughts.
Heading into what looks like it's going to be an exciting final weekend of football. I'm very curious to see what kind of changes teams start to make on this Monday's Black Monday, right?
Yes.
So I'm very curious to see what happens. Obviously, I think the one that we all were expecting has already happened a little bit early. There's been some interesting reports the last couple of days. There was one about the Miami Dolphins. If they don't make the playoffs, could Mike McDaniel? I think that would be incredibly dumb. But I also think that the Dolphins haven't necessarily made the best moves historically under the Ross regime. So we'll see. It should be an interesting weekend, both on and off the field. And let's go Eagles.
Jody's saying, Kurt, did you see the investigation at Michigan? I'm sure you did.
I did.
Yep. Sis, you got any final thoughts for the boys?
Yeah. If you need any advice, just give me a text.
You need any advice? Just shoot Sis a text if you didn't hear that.
Nice.
Carson, final thoughts.
Yeah, great show, guys. Looking forward to the games this week. And it's been a great season for my Lions. We were dead in the water at 1-6, had an unbelievable finish to start the end of the year. And regardless of what happens, we can go into Lambeau and ruin Aaron Rodgers' parade. And that's what I want to have happen. Go Lions.
Let's go.
And Carson, where are you going to be tonight? And also, where you on other nights? Where are you?
Yeah, if you guys like casino content, we're live 4 nights a week. We just launched a Facebook page. Just search up Ticket Time. You can find me over there every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 Eastern.
And Joey Clams, final thoughts.
You're in Saturn tonight. Number one, you're talking about. I get moves on Sunday nights, Monday nights. Carson is my witness. We get Sunday night, Monday morning early before these schmoes. and get another thing. Any housewife from Chinatown, Colorado, and any Joe's pick the 4 biggest money line favorites and put them in a parlay. You ain't gonna square dance. That's been
Absolutely. Do it and go get yourself some laptops and sneakers and cars.
Yo, don't disrespect me when I'm talking. Number one, you don't talking about. I says you missed. If you missed it when you could have grabbed it at 14, you didn't, and you told me. I says I liked, and I said with the 49 game, you got to sit tight, lay in the weeds, and find out. Words of my mouth. You don't even know what dice look like.
Boy, Joe, way to go! You know what? I was going to come after him, but you beat me to it. I can't beat that one. I was going to come after him. I'll just add the frauds. The frauds come out when it's championship Monday, Joe. The frauds come out. He didn't bet the SEC all season long. Now all of a sudden he's back into the SEC.
Wait, Kenny, real quick. Carson or Ryan, are any of you guys on eBay a lot?
No.
Sometimes.
Okay, Carson, be on the outlook for Tuesday morning, okay? Because after the game Monday night, look for Kenny's headphones and Joey Clam's hat. Because when they lose everything on those games, they're going to have to start selling something. They're going to need money to come back next Tuesday. So it could be the hat, the glasses. It could be Kenny's headphones. They're going to need money. So,
all right, well,
first half.
I couldn't get the last. I let Kurt, you can have your fun. We'll have our fun next Wednesday, Joe, or Thursday, I should say.
I'm betting the Gino, right?
All right, boys. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, thank you for joining. Thank you guys for being part of us tonight. We will see you next Thursday for Wits and Wagers. Thank you.
David,
have a good night.
100.